And I want the mouse back. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
If you caught the beginning of that, I hate this computer. I want my mouse, guys. Last week I logged myself out of the show, and I had to log myself back into the show. It was lots of fun because it's one of those. It's real sensitive touch, and I just barely touch it, and I'm all over. I'm like, what happened? Where did we go? Anyway.
Yeah, we're just starting this, so now this is our fifth episode, right? We got the little hiccups. Like last week, if y'all watched last week, I looked like a character from The Walking Dead. My lighting was terrible. My makeup choice was terrible. And the internet kept freezing. So I'm working on it. We're working on it. Hopefully tonight we have solved the issue, especially with having Ivan here, who's going to give us a great load of information about the district tonight, which is something I don't quite know. The hubby, fiance, Chris the Goose, he knows all about that. And he'll talk, and I feel like it's like when you're watching Charlie Brown and you hear the teacher.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, so I'm excited to learn about it because district.net seems to be like the hottest, newest thing. And we are so grateful to be on it.
Kimmie, I think we only have Ivan for like 30 minutes, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, let's if we need to just get right into it.
I'm just going to get right into it because then after we get done talking to Ivan, then you and I are going to talk about what we learned, and then answer some questions that might.
I promise that I'm going to tune in on the replay to watch that and see if I explained it better than Charlie Brown's teacher. That's the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can answer questions that we'll probably answer incorrectly. You can straighten
do our best. We're going to do our best. Hello to everybody in the chat, by the way. Picky Nikki, Sienna District, Douglas. We appreciate you all. We usually do our whole going through the chat, telling you all about our week. We're going to pack the first 30 minutes with all about Ivan down here so we can get lots of good information from him.
Well, so much less about Ivan and really more about both of you because I know Flippin' Flamingos, you have a district.
We do.
Life of Kimberly, you are connected to a district. Yeah. And so really today is going to be about you, but I'm really excited that you brought me on to talk about it. Because like I said, hopefully a little bit less wah, 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 and a little more, hey, it's actually really easy if you do X, Y, then Z, that sort of thing.
Well, I do know a little bit about Ivan, I think, after talking to you. And let's quiz me. I'll quiz myself. You tell me if I'm wrong. Ivan loves cards, baseball cards. And that is his reselling niche. And that's my dog. And he's got
just
2 children? 2?
Up to 3 now. That's the reason why.
Okay. How old are your kids?
I have 7-year-old twin boys.
Oh, wow.
And
fun.
Almost 2-year-old.
Okay.
And so we got a little bit of a spread, and it's fun.
No. Don't talk to me about a spread. I have an almost 19-year-old and a 5-month-old, and then I have a 13-year-old in the middle.
Oh, wow. See, now that
19, 5 months.
Couldn't even believe you're like, let's just go back every decade.
Fun. Wow. Like,
yeah.
Good luck with Godspeed for that one.
That way Kimberly has help. So, it's probably not as bad.
No, I have a living babysitter. I mean, shoot.
Right.
Awesome.
The 19-year-old.
That's who gives me the ability to do these lives every Thursday night is the almost 19-year-old. And I'm grateful and I'm very appreciative. But how fun is that you have twins and then almost two the toddler ages are crazy and hysterical and awesome all at the same time because they're just like learning about a whole lot of things and then observing a whole lot of things and then pointing out to you all of these things, which obviously you already know, right? Like you've seen it already before.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Fun. It's super fun and it's challenging because it reminds you of things that you forgot about, really. It's like they point like, oh yeah, I forgot that you can view things that way. And it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it's fun. So today, my 5-month-old, I was walking around our property, and we live on the outskirts of Houston, and so we live on a few acres. And so the baby and I took a little walk. He was being really fussy. He's teething right now, making me freaking crazy. So I decided to take him for a walk outside. And he discovered a butterfly. And just to see him like light up about this thing that's flying around, like I wanted to cry, because like you forget about how special and how amazing it is to watch a little person, observe that and like realize like there's big things in life besides your bottle and having a poopy diaper,
Yeah. For sure. And then they turn 7 and become too cool for school.
Oh yeah. They're ornery when they hit like 7, 8, 9. Oh Lord, Godspeed. Yeah.
So I know that keeps you busy, and that's one of the reasons that you have to leave us early because I know that you like to participate in bedtime. And I know that your wife likes to have you participate in bedtime. I'm sure.
Renee, you are so kind. I like to participate in bedtime. The 2-year-old will scream if his routine doesn't be followed exactly.
Oh, sweet baby.
I wish that whenever mine were that my husband would have liked to participate in bedtime. It would have been easier. But I know that you begged to have this job. I mean, if I remember correctly, you were like, please, guys, I really want this job. This is something that you really wanted to do and you love to do, and you have your heart and soul into what you do at District. Right?
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you want the background there.
Yeah, please, let us know how you got into reselling or even, into District.
Mm-hmm. So I've been collecting sports cards most of my life, since I was a little kid. Most people have this little lull, like sort of high school, you get a car, you have to study for college, you're in athletics. And so that happened to me. But a few years into my professional career, I got back into collecting. This was 2011. And so I was collecting for a long time, and I actually did a YouTube series about my collecting and got some people that started listening to me on Twitter that way. And I just kept talking about cards, just kept talking about collectibles. Got asked by a really large sports card distributor, GTS Distribution, to co-host their weekly show. And so this whole thing just kept growing where I had a day job, but I loved collecting. And part of collecting is selling. Part of collecting is successfully selling. So a lot of my content was about, eBay or this new platform or the fees over here or the visibility over here. And as all these platforms started springing up during the pandemic, I tracked a lot of them had conversations with founders of many of them. And then I had this conversation. I got asked out to coffee by this team that happened to be in Los Angeles, where I was at the time as well. And what they pitched to me was so different from every other platform that existed that I left that meeting and I'm like, this isn't just about me as a reseller, or as a card talker. This is about me. Like, this is bigger than I could ever be, because I'm a voice and I'm on mainly Twitter is where I am still Twitter. I don't know who cares what X is?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. Isn't it called X now? I know Chris
it's Twitter. I don't care if it doesn't show up when you search your phone now. If you do that, it's still Twitter. But all that to say, I was one of many voices on Twitter. And that's one network. And then there's Facebook. And then there's Instagram. And then there's YouTube. And that's one niche, sports cards. Well, there's also trading cards. There's Pokemon cards. There's Hot Wheels. There's vintage glass I'm discovering. There's magnets. I am dying for people that grab magnets on road trips and have a community to come check out District. So there's all these things that were so much bigger than just me that I was like, well, what they just pitched to me works for all of that. And so I came back to our next meeting and I started like, well, wait, what about this? How are you going to grow this? How are you going to do this? Because my personal skill set is really in community building. I was part of the Rotary Club of Los Angeles, very active there. I did theater for a number of years, which is really like, you got to do everything. You got to build the show. You got to build the audience. You got to build up each other as artists. And I was just like, man, who's going to build the communities here? I want to do that so badly. And thankfully the team and I connected and we had a lot of things in common and they liked what I brought to the table. And so they tried me out and then they brought me on a little bit more and then they brought me on full time. And so my job is community lead at district.net. Now, do you want me to talk about what it was they pitched to me that I thought could be so big?
Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. You got it. You got into it. You let us in.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So again, I have this community on Twitter. I've got 50,000 sports card collectors on Twitter that are part of my community. Every other platform out there, I have not yet. Please, in the comments, if you know of a different one, tell me. I want to learn. Every other platform out there is built a certain direction, which is we're the platform. We go out and acquire users. And then our value prop to sellers is, hey, sellers, we have buyers. Come over here and sell. It's the direction of every platform that exists. And a lot of them do have users. I mean, who's going to lie and say Amazon doesn't have users? Amazon has users, right? I'm not trying to say they don't. But that's the value prop. And no matter how many followers you get on that platform, I could have 10,000 people that follow my eBay page. My eBay page is still just a profile. Mm-hmm. I don't have those followers are not actually mine, so to speak. Well, that works for a lot of sellers. Again, we're not going to sit here and lie and say Amazon's not freaking successful. However, there's a huge, huge number of communities out there, like my Twitter group, or like Facebook reselling groups, or Facebook influencer groups, people that just love flamingos, right? People that collect flamingos. That right there is, I'm sure there's a group somewhere of at least 1,000 people who do that. Well, so every other platform that's out there, we talked about how they're built. What they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, come sell on our platform so that your community comes onto our platform. And then once you're done going live, they're going to get pinged. Guess who else is live? Or once your flamingo auction is done, they're going to get pinged the next morning. Hey, you bought those flamingos last night from Flippin Flamingos. Guess who else is selling flamingos? And they take users and peanut butter them across the platform. So you've got these giant communities that actually have no incentive to go join this platform or that platform or that platform. Well, the guys at District, they actually had worked together at Snapchat previously. So they have a social media background. And they were intrigued by the way that the social media groups do commerce but they also saw all the inefficiencies there. You know, I have crazy respect for the people that do YouTube auctions where they are writing down who won. At the end, they're calculating, they're invoicing everybody.
Yep.
I have huge respect for that. That's incredible.
Yeah, I've been doing that for
years.
quite some time. It's much harder than Whatnot or the other ones, or even District. District is, because that's all I know on District. Because like I said, Chris knows about District. I do not, but I do join him in the auctions, and he loves it. He loves doing auctions on District. He's like, we don't have to set up nothing. It just shows you, you know, and then out it ships.
Yeah.
So people want that tool, but again, you don't want to bring that tool to, you know, just name a platform that's out there. And then the second you're done being live, your entire community gets peppered by other people.
Right.
So on District, it's actually organized by community. And if you're in this community, you get the notifications for that community. And if I go live over here and I'm trying to sell flamingos, you're not going to get notified. Your community members aren't going to get pinged. Hey, guess what? Now Ivan's selling flamingos, unless I'm selling in your community. And I have that ability to do. So you have a community. It's really your own platform now. And you can enable people to sell in that community. People can join that community to chat, have fun, show off their pickups. A popular chat channel that many communities create is ID help. You know, I'm out shopping and looking around and I don't know, is this Fenton or is this a complete knockoff?
That's really helpful.
That's a word I learned recently, Fenton.
Fenton, yeah.
The sports card guy expanding his horizons.
That is really helpful because you were put into a community that collects, maybe collects glass, and there's all kinds of glass to collect. And you may have a Fenton piece that is not marked because Fenton was not marked prior, I think it went to 1972 or 74. And it could be Fenton. It's just not marked. Yeah. And,
well, so I'm sitting here joking that this is so over my head, but this is why I get this excited and passionate. Like here we are almost 2 years after I joined the company and I'm still this excited because that's the point. Is I will never know Fenton like an actual glass expert. So if you have a platform where one person is the category lead and they're dictating, I mean, honestly, there's $1 billion platform out there that I've seen in the past that up until just recently, there was a category lead for sports cards, trading cards, watches. It's like, wait, watches? Well, the watches category is suddenly not getting any specialty features that particular category needs. Well, the way District is built, if we find a glass community or a glass community leader and they can come in, then they can tell us, hey, here's what glass sellers need. You know, that shipping glass is different than shipping sports cards. We really need this feature.
Right.
And it's something that I myself, if you gave me 27 categories and said build for all of these, I would never be able to do.
Right.
But we're able to listen to communities, the person building the community.
Right. Well, you brought up a very good example of like a community and what they need, like Mega Media Mall, Chris's.
Right. That's ours. And he is like, he's been doing media for so long. I mean, that's what our community, as you're talking about, Ivan, is media. And it's when you think of media, people think CDs, DVDs, cassette tapes, but we brought it a little bit. So like if you find it, if we find a t-shirt that has Blake Shelton on it, then that can also go
fun
into it.
But like they didn't know, I mean, you guys didn't have media mail on there for shipping. So you needed media mail that was holding a lot of ephemera people back and now you're getting that brought on.
The media part is way new, and I don't even know if it's like specified. Maybe Chris can come in here, and because he knows a little bit better about it all.
Well, we have media mail now. That's the answer.
Yes, you do.
That's okay, cool.
Yeah, we have media mail as an
you
option.
met those requirements because you had a new you had people that needed that, and it wasn't really thought of maybe in the beginning, but it kind of went with your story as like, you know, you didn't really know maybe that much about class and what they needed, but weren't really thinking about, oh, we've got people that are in the ephemera business. We might need media mail, and now it's there, and
it's still hot.
That's wonderful.
Media is hot. It is still hot. People still search for all that kinds of stuff. Especially with the cost of everything. You know, all these apps, you have to have this app and this app and this app and this thing and this. People just want a CD or a DVD that they love. So it's still a hot commodity.
Well, so I should say what you need to do is you need to go to district.net/mega media mall and click join. And you'll be you'll be able to become a member of that community. And again, it's not just like get in there and buy, or not just get in there and sell. It's get in there and share your media stories, share what's cool, share what you think is missing. The social component is so key here, and our most successful platforms and communities that have been built on District, like they all have that, and it's really really cool and unique, and it's the thing that makes it different from a transactional platform.
Right. I like that like if I want to go find glass, I know who to go to. If I want to go find vintage, 70s, 80s, 90s, I know where to go. So that, that's
holiday stuff, to go to me.
Yeah.
Holiday.
I was just going to say, actually, even more importantly, you've got 10 days to get your St. Patrick's decorations.
I know.
Guess where you should go for that? What is it? 7-9 times a year or so. You need to make sure you go to district.net.
Everything, and seeing all these listings, like, you can just go, I want some Christmas decorations, Halloween or whatever it is. I know I can go to Renee and see her listings, right? And then
so that's what's really cool is, so it's not just, I can go to Holiday Hoarders, which I love that name, Renee.
Yeah.
Holiday Hoarders is the community that it's awesome. That's the community that Renee has come up with, Flippin' Flamingos. And so there's all these different listing types in there. And so Easter's coming up. Well, you can go in there and you can find Easter items specifically, with a nice filter, nice easy search. And it's not just Renee. It's like, Renee, you love Renee, but you also trust Renee. So when Renee says, oh, these 5 other people are selling here, you have a level of trust with them.
That's a great point. It sort of makes me think about, like, if I were to go to an antique mall or something, and I know antique malls sell all kinds of things, but it makes me think about, like, okay, here's Renee's antique mall, her whole thing. She has a booth over here, and then all these other booths too. Like that,
and they all follow the theme.
And I love that you can hone in on something, because I can't tell you how many times I've looked for something and you see a bazillion listings on eBay or whatever it is. But like, if I've already bought from Renee and I know, that she does good, then I'm gonna, like you said, trust those other sellers, to buy whatever holiday decor, holiday hoarding decor.
Exactly. And the other cool thing is most of the time it could still be new in box, but you know that you're also, I don't think we talk about this enough at District. We're reusing or reselling. There's so much waste already in the world. I'm guilty of it. I eat McDonald's and I throw away the wrapper, right? But it's really cool. Like Christmas lights. Do I need brand new Christmas lights from, Menards or Walgreens? Well, why not just get Christmas lights from Renee that have already been produced and aren't going to add more waste to the world?
Right.
That's another idea I love. I do want to just interject real quick. So looking at the time and looking at my texts from my wonderful, wonderful wife, I have till about 7:35.
Oh,
so I do have a little more time.
Okay.
But
Thank you,
so I wanted to see
wife.
if there's give me a challenging question. Is there a bad question I need to answer for everybody?
Well, so we've been talking about, being a seller or a buyer. I don't know if you want to explain to the chat that you don't have to log in and be both. Like, is it like, how easy is it to just make an account? And if you want to be a seller, how do you go about that part?
So making an account's super easy. You just, create an account, district.net. Again, you can go to district.net/megamediamall, sorry, or district.net/holiday hoarders. Either one of them, you're going to be able to create a district account. And that's, again, a kind of cool thing about district in this is we are like the engine and the pipes for these communities, while at the same time we really want to highlight the communities. One reason you should, I don't care if you never buy a thing, if you enjoy the chat that you're in right now with Kimberly and Renee, well, it ends, right? Sadly, when a YouTube video is done, the chat kind of ends.
Yeah.
Well, they have 24/7 chat channels where you can carry on. Hey, say, hey, I love this on the show tonight. When are you going to talk more about that? You have a community now that's 24/7. So you can join just to be part of that community. And like I said, you find something cool, not to sell, but just to show off, post it in the community. Right. You find something you don't know what it is, post in the community and ask. Even if you're not a reseller, it's a community for those things.
We can make the chat room specific to the people that go in and sign up to be sellers or they're buyers. There's certain ones that can be for buyers and sellers, because we want to be involved with other people that are like us. You always look for people that are like you. I want to see another nerd like me. That's why I hang out with Kimberly. Okay.
Hey, I'm not a nerd. Okay, maybe
I'm going to double down on that with a really cool thing. So earlier, Kimberly said it's kind of like an antique mall, except wait, it's more specific.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because Kimberly, you mentioned, a city in Texas. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska doesn't have enough people with that interest and that much time to have a holiday antique mall, right?
Right.
You wouldn't have enough density or time or foot traffic. But if we look at the entire nation and our friends to the north, well, yeah, now we can actually support, there's got to be at least, 100,000, at least a million. What am I talking about? People that just love holidays and love everything around them in addition to needing to buy something. Mm-hmm. Well, so that's what you can create. You've created the online marketplace for holidays, and it's a place where people can hang out, share their best. Kimberly, you talked about discovery with toddlers. Like, how much fun is their first Easter when they get it, right?
Yeah.
When they find an egg or a chocolate and go crazy. You want your friends that you care about celebrating that in here. That's the fun part. That's what makes this different from, when did you ever write an Amazon review that said, my child lit up when they got XYZ? And so here's, sorry, I'm getting way too excited. This is why I love this company, though. This is literally why I have to do this.
Enthusiasm. It's awesome.
My brother, he has a 4-year-old. My nephew just turned 4. He loves Mario. I asked my brother, what does he want? He's like, he wants a Mario plush because we went to the Mario experience at Universal and we had to leave early and he couldn't decide. And so he wants a Mario plush.
Plus, they're expensive there.
What? Sorry?
They're expensive at Universal.
Yeah, but I mean, dad, birthday, all that. He was going to do it. All that to say, they left without one. I literally went on Amazon and could not find one.
What?
Then...
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I hope my boss isn't watching this. I went on Amazon and I couldn't find one. Then I went on District and I searched all of District and I also couldn't find one. But I knew of a community that had a bit of a specialty in there. So I went in their chat and I posted in their chat, hey, I'm looking for a Mario plush. It has to be Mario. It's a 4-year-old. He's not going to get Raccoon Mario or, Fire. Right. He's not going to understand that the same. It has to be Mario. I kid you not. One of their sellers is like, oh, I've got the perfect thing for you. Posted 4 hours later. Hey, here's the listing. It was a big one, the right size, looked brand new, great condition, $10. That would have been 40 or 55 at Universal.
Oh my!
Don't tell my brother that I'm a cheapskate.
That's a great deal. My
here's part 3 of that.
Was obsessed with Mario, so wow. Okay,
here's bringing the whole story home, though. All of a sudden, I've got my brother sending me a text of my nephew being so excited, and I'm never going to put that in an Amazon review. No. But I'm going to go post that in the In Search Of chat and say, hey, BS Retro Shop, thank you so much. My nephew loved it. Like, that's the community that we're sharing. Mm-hmm. That's what's fun.
That's what, as a seller, that would have made my day. And, it gave me chills, just to know that you went and posted that for the person that you bought it from. And I mean, that had to have made your day, his day, everybody's day. So that's really sweet.
And it gets so lost in transactional commerce and even also in social media. I mean, we always focus on the negative. Social media is so bad. People are always looking at their phones. It's actually incredible that I was able to find something to lighten my nephew's day / however long he's been sleeping with that thing in the weeks that he's had it. And I was able to bless the seller. And I was blessed. Like, we buy things for bigger reasons than just to buy a thing.
Right.
And I want District
totally get it.
to be a place for that,
Yeah. So. Okay. So I know that you have to leave. We do have a question, which I'm hoping you can
question in the chat
answer. From Ryan Davidson, it says, what is your plan and timeline for growing non-sellers to regular buyers? So I know from what I've heard from District or from different communities that they have sort of a percentage. So I'm going to say that maybe it just depends on the community, but if you could elaborate on that before you bounce out, I want to
make sure it really does, because it all comes down to the social aspect. Like, let me put it this way. I recently saw an Instagram story that changed my life, and I've been doing content for a decade now. I mentioned the Twitter. This person was being interviewed, this media advertising person. She's like, I never post a product picture to Instagram. People don't like ads. They like humans. Well, it's the same thing. A lot of people just naturally, we gravitate towards reselling. We focus on reselling. Well, what about focusing on bringing in your friends that enjoy talking about the holidays? What about doing a weekly media spotlight on a CD from the 90s that's going to make me tear up, Fiona Apple or something like that, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that's going to grow that. That's why people are going to go there versus somewhere else, for content and community. So it's really up to each individual district to build that. We have some that have done an incredible job of that. We have some that are trying and learning to do that. I will say, if you want a technical tool, every single district user gets a referral code. And you can click on your profile. There's a little button that says give 5, get 5. And if you bring in a new user, they get $5 off their first purchase with your code, and you get $5 in site credit. And that's fully funded by us. So now if you are a reseller, but you're like, well, we need more buyers or we need more of those community members, what we're seeing in sports cards is we're actually seeing people do transactions off platform. We also have a really cool tool called Magic Comments I'm going to leave you with and not tell you anything about, but that's a way to sell off to other people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. But we're seeing people that are creating a transaction off platform and then saying, hey, you can get $5 off if you use this code and buy it here. And that moves the person in. And once the person's in, they're like, oh, wait, I can chat here too. Oh, yeah. I can post what I got in the mail here. That's really fun. The community tools are so strong and sticky. I literally, it'll happen now that I said it, but I literally have not yet once seen somebody say like, oh, I just joined that and now I want to leave after buying something. People get excited when they start to see the activity.
Just even your enthusiasm is like infectious. Like, I'm now excited about it.
Yeah. So it's got to be that. It can't be like, and part of my enthusiasm is born out of, in the pandemic, we saw platforms in the hobby spring up that were cheaper than anywhere else, whether it's lower fees for sellers than anywhere else or cheaper prices. There's one platform that had both and it didn't take over. At the end of the day, people are not the bottom line people we like to think they are. Don't tell BS Retro Shop. He could have posted that Mario for 25 and I would have bought it. Right. I wanted the Mario. Bless him for doing it for 10. But that's not what's important. What's important is my nephew's smile. Right.
Yeah. Creating those memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, I do have to go.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. What a wealth of knowledge. Right, Renee?
Yes. I mean, I really appreciate it. As soon as I asked, he said yes. I didn't even have to twist his arm. So I appreciate it. If y'all have any questions, you can leave them in the comments after the show or during the show. It'll upload, and Ivan, myself, and Chris will look at them. Ivan's got the best knowledge of all. So if we can't answer it, we'll leave it for Ivan to answer.
Yeah. Or go drop it in Holiday Hoarders and tag District Ivan.
Right? Yes, you can do that too.
Directly, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that too. Whichever you feel more comfortable doing, or you can drop it in Mega Media Mall. And we're going to let Ivan go and we can talk about some more stuff.
Yes, we can. I don't know where. Yeah. And what a pleasure, Ivan. Like, wealth of knowledge. I have a little more understanding of it all. And I appreciate that you told our audience about it and took the time. Thank you, wifey, Ivan's wifey, for giving us some info so that he can go put the babies to night.
You got to click leave, or Kimmie will keep talking.
I know.
Sounds great. Hey, thank you both so much. All right.
Bye-bye. It's true. It's true. All
right. Where's Goose at?
Keep talking.
You might be watching. He needs to give me a half a.
He always has a lot of energy. He's
my goodness. I loved it. And I knew nothing. I've only heard between you and Chris about Ivan, and like I'm just excited.
He always answers things back when you ask him when you're on District. I don't know how he does it all. I honestly don't. Ryan has a question. Is the company going to market this on social media sites, or is your plan on users to post and grow the audience? So I asked this question of Ivan whenever we were considering doing our own marketplace. And their business plan is that we do the marketing by word of mouth. So like doing something like this, to let our end users, that our friends know that this is what we're doing. Also like the $5 off. We are supposed to reach out to our communities. If you know, mine is holiday hoarders. I'm into glass, but I wanted something more to do with the holidays because holidays sell year round, and there's more than just Christmas and Halloween and Easter, and there's a ton of things that you can sell for holidays. So I wanted to reach out to my community that sell those all year long. So if I get excited, you know, and I am excited about it, and you're excited about it to sell it, then it's going to trickle down. But they do not have any plans of doing any commercials or anything like that. One of the things that he didn't mention, if he did, I didn't hear it. Also on our platform, you can do live sales. You can sign up to do a 30-minute slot, kind of like Whatnot. It's set up very similar to Whatnot. I think it's a little bit more user-friendly than their platform. You could stay on, you know, do Whatnot, do this. You know, it can be streamed to your Facebook, but you have to let them know that they need to come over to to district.net / whatever your name is. Uh-oh, I dropped Kimmie. To make the purchase. It is a very user-friendly format. We did put our links in our description of this video. They're actually in all of our descriptions of our videos, but you also see them being posted throughout the chat. So, Ryan, I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, will you please let me know if that answered your question? And I'm sorry that I missed saying hi to a lot of people. I saw Betty Webb. I said hi to Larry earlier. Hopefully Storm didn't knock him out. Cat D, hi. Haven't seen you in a while. Tooch. Hi, Tooch. Richard, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long while. But it doesn't cost you anything to set up your marketplace. If you want to know how that is set up for you and how you would make money on that, you would need to talk to someone in district, or I can tell you, we can talk about that. I don't think they don't really like for you to talk about it publicly, because I don't like to talk about money publicly anyway, because I think it's kind of just faux pas, poopy on talking it in public like this. But also, you know, it's the fees to sell are very similar to eBay. They're less than eBay. What are you paying? What are we paying? Like
13-15%.
And then what are we paying for district? I thought it was 13.
10%.
Oh, we're only paying 10%. Is that everybody would pay 10%? So 10% on about 10% on district. Joe knows because he does all the shipping. And then we do about 13 to 15% on eBay. And you can do more, you know, just depending on hey.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. Like
I
don't even know what happened.
Okay. So they're back. So the fees are less to do it through district. But I wanted everybody to know that there is another platform out there, so you don't have to put your eggs all in one basket. This is another basket that you can put your items in, and you can be specific. Like I have my glass is on one marketplace. The hats that I sell, baseball caps and stuff, is on and sports stuff is on one platform. And then the 80s, 70s, 80s pop culture stuff is on another one. And then my media is on Chris's, because unless it has to do with Christmas or something, but I put all my media stuff on Chris's. So it's a way to have your things seen everywhere and be on a specific in a specific marketplace suited for those buyers, and it doesn't get lost in the shuffle, so to speak.
Right.
Would you say that's right, Chris?
I think that's a great way to explain it. A lot of feedback here. Hold on a second. She was hitting some buttons, and I hit a lot of buttons all the time. Okay. Let's see. Is that better? Okay. So yeah, she had to go tend to the baby real quick. So you get me for a few minutes. Ivan, I think, did a great job. I was watching the tail end of that. And yeah, explaining district.net is not only a chore to explain a new platform, but it's kind of eye-opening to a lot of people, where the community is a big part of it. So once you have a group of like-minded people, community, it becomes real easy to, buy, sell, trade, like items. So I think he did a great job explaining it. And I wish I would have popped in a little bit earlier, because I had one question for him, and he'll probably put it on the chat, or I can send him a message.
Okay.
And you might know this, Renee. Is it possible to cross-list in district itself in different marketplaces?
You shouldn't cross-list, and there's a reason why. Because once you put your listing in on your your marketplace or another marketplace,
right?
Even though say somebody wanted a Time magazine from April 4th, 1979, and you type that in, and you didn't have it, it's going to search the sites that deal with media. Basically, it's searching that first. And if it doesn't show up on your marketplace, then it searches all of district. So it really wouldn't matter if you cross-listed it, is what I'm being told, because it searches the entire district.
Site. Okay.
And I've tested it, and that's what I have found to be the case.
So I've not tested that, so I didn't know the answer to that. And Kat D says, how long have you been on there? So our site, or our marketplace, just started in, I think technically it was February of this year, so last month, or it may have been January. They do it by the month. So it was either late January or early February for us. The Flamingos just started this month. Yes,
we started in February also.
Technically, yeah, you were like me, end of the month, kind of, but yeah.
But I have been listing on it for a while. Probably since January, I've been listing on it. I'm listing on, I think, 4, 5 different marketplaces, including my own. To me, it just makes things nice and neat to know especially if you are a seller, you know that you're going to have optimal views and eyes on your product, because people know where to go. They know that, let's say, Crazy Lamp Lady, which she's on there, knickknacks, and I sell on her marketplace. I sell my glass and my vintage stuff on there. I know.
And I know you love your glass.
I love my glass. I love my vintage stuff. And I know that she's going to have a lot of traffic on her site for that. So I list there. My 70s and 80s stuff, I list with Commonwealth. 80H Dave, it's called Dibbed It. But that is Kevin with Commonwealth, 80H Dave, and Carrie. So I list there because I know that I'm going to get optimal views there. I will list like my baseball caps, sport stuff. I list that on over the years. Tim is Tim over the years, but it's one stop shop, and that's Tim over the years. Who is it? Do you know all their names? It's the Reseller Network is who runs that one. All the guys from that.
Yeah, so, Tim and I couldn't tell you the other guy's names.
Yeah, I mean there's other ones out there like this is
RIN, Reseller Information Network.
That's what it is. I said it wrong. But there's other sellers that are coming on quick with their marketplaces. But this is probably, I would say, and I think Chris would agree with me that, this is probably the start of a new trend. And I don't want to call it a trend because trends die out. I think it's going to be a new way for people to shop, to zone in on items that they want.
No, I agree completely. So, and my take on it is, yes, it's newish. I know it's 2 years. Yeah, right? It's been around a little bit, gaining a lot of traction now.
Yeah.
But for instance, if you go to the holiday category at eBay, and they have a category for it, just holiday. If you go there and click on that, you're going to get 10, 12 million different items that pop up. And a lot of them are not going to be what you want. They're not going to be any kind of quality, and they're not going to be anything that is specific towards this exact holiday.
Right. What intrigued me about you just speaking about that, about being specific about what, so I don't know if you heard Ivan was talking about
I caught most of it.
Getting his nephew or somebody certain Mario. And so he went into the app, into the little chat or whatever, and asked if anybody has this to be sold. And he found it for a really great price, which I think is really cool because you can't do that. I love eBay. I will always be an eBay fan, but there is no eBay chat where I'm like, hey, I'm looking for this, through this community. Can I find it? And so
that'll never happen.
Yeah. So I thought that was like that's what perked my interest in the whole thing, is that you go into the community, and then if you were looking for, something specific that you can't find, like you have the opportunity to ask and see if anybody's selling it.
Has one.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. They set up chats, in search of, in the chat, and you can put in the chats what you're in search of, and hopefully somebody can come up with that, and that's nice. But look, I agree with what Chris was saying. eBay, you're not going to probably get in your search what you want, but eBay would tell you, oh, well, pay that promoted fee and it's up. I just sold some. It's going to show up. Well, you can go on to district and you don't have to pay anything for people to search and get your item, the one that they want. You don't have to pay anything promoted. You put your item on there. You're already on a specific site, and you can type in what you want, and it's going to search, and it's quick too. I mean, it's not.
No, the search engine that they have is
quick.
It works perfectly. From everything I've seen, it is, yes, quick and absolutely perfect as to what you're searching. And it will tell you if there are 0 results, like the example that he gave or that y'all just told me about. It will tell you there's no results. It's not going to try to create something that's not what you want.
I'm excited about it. I've seen all these selling platforms come up throughout the years, and I've never been real interested in a lot of them, and I'm excited about this one.
And from what I'm told, there is a way to take your eBay listings and put them on district. So
that's what I've been told also, but it's not a one-click process yet.
No, but it's not, and you wouldn't want it to be, because you have all of these listings. Then if you bring all those listings in, you're going to want to choose which, where you want to put it. Do you want to put it on Knickknacks? Do you want to put it on Dibit? Do you want to put it on One Stop Shop? Where do you want to put it?
Right. And each category, each item needs its own category.
Well, and another thing that's really nice, like let's say I have an item that's been on there a while, and I could easily move it to another marketplace. It's real simple. I mean, it's literally you click an arrow, pick one of the other sites you've been approved, marketplaces that you've been approved to sell it on. So, and just click it, and there it goes. It's on the other person. And sometimes it might be just a matter of switching it to another marketplace that you've been approved to sell on.
Well, and that's the thing, is you wouldn't have to cross list like I was asking about earlier, because the search is so great that you can find it no matter what actual marketplace it's in. It will find it for you, which I really like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
I love eBay, and I'm not trying to complain about eBay, because I loved it since the late 90s. I love it so much. But sometimes I type in stuff. I'll type in something, and then it will bring me up car parts. I'm all, I wasn't looking for no car parts.
Right.
So to have a place that's
functional. I mean, it's really working the way it should be.
I don't know if you can see this. We just sold a birthday candle on eBay.
You got some glare.
It's a birthday candle. I paid 10 cents for it, and I just sold it for $6. I mean, birthday is a holiday, so I could have all kinds of birthday stuff over there.
Items.
And I am listing as fast as my little fingers can on our holiday orders. But I'm not going to stop listing on eBay either.
Right. Yeah. I was just making complaints, but eBay, I will always love eBay. Always.
Yeah. But I've heard many resellers say, don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Separate them.
I heard it too.
Put it in other places, because I've known people that have gotten locked out of their eBay for weeks at a time, and they've got no sales coming in, and they live off of that income.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to have it maybe coming in from somewhere else as well.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Like,
yeah, and it's a very easy
you just never
platform.
know. You know, with and eBay is not. Although we've been doing it for a really long time, so like we could do it with our eyes closed.
Yeah.
To just jump into it as a new reseller, like there's a lot that you have to know about bureaus and what you can list and about the recommendations and what you should put and the photos, and all of that. And I know there's other platforms that are way easier.
Yeah.
So I think it is a good idea. I definitely think if you've never resold anything ever on any platform, you need to hone in on one and figure that one out first before you start doing a bunch of other ones. But eBay is complicated. The cool thing about eBay though, is there is a lot of really great resellers out there that will teach you through YouTube videos and give you advice. That's how I learned, going through. Like my family was into eBay a long time ago, but my mom didn't really give the details.
Maybe y'all could do like a video, like a step-by-step for district listing.
Oh,
I can do that. Kimmie and I can do that.
There you go.
Maybe,
it's a start.
And
start of
let me
thing.
just put this big "and" in there. It's so big it doesn't even fit on the screen. The background removal tool is amazing with district.
Oh yeah, it is. It's so amazing.
Amazing.
It's so amazing that I've screenshotted those, and then I've taken those and put them on my eBay list.
Don't tell them
I mean, because I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
So too, one of his pictures.
I've dabbled it in other, we'll say, platforms, and I hate it because, like, if I have something that has even a slight black mark in it, it just exits.
Oh my gosh, no. Their background remover is amazing. It's amazing. Like I've used background removers from eBay and other places, but the one on District is amazing. I mean, I've used ones that you put dirt on there. It's like all jaggedy. You can
like you got one and it like hones out. Like if you list a plush or something that has a darker tie, like the whole neck is gone.
So one on District, whenever they said they had the background remover and they're on all different colors, I'm like, I'm gonna push this. I want to see how crappy it is. I push it. And I'm like, holy cow, this is awesome.
That's awesome.
I mean, because it's like, you can't even tell. You cannot tell. It looks like a magazine shot. It looks like they took what you took a picture of and they made it into a magazine shot. That
sounds awesome.
Glenn, it'll crop out all your feet and your alligators and everything else in your background for you.
My finger.
What up, Glenn?
You leave a finger in there. What Joe had, and it was a great picture that he took, but he had it in a light box. And it was one of those big Sputnik.
Yeah, so light boxes are only as good as big as light boxes, right?
I used to buy all that fancy stuff. You know what we use? We use the tablecloth.
Well,
white tablecloth.
The sun.
That's it.
Okay, I gotta go, buddy.
All right.
We'll see y'all. Y'all
We're about to wrap it up. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. You're very handsome.
It's one of my pet peeves.
Thanks for hanging out. I love you. Bye.
If you put it in a box, in a video photo box, you shouldn't be able to see the sides or the lines. And so he does it every once in a while. I don't think he means to. Hey, bye, Glenn. Or are you saying bye to? Maybe he's saying bye to Chris. I just think the lines. When you see the lines, it's just horrible. But I was able to.
No, I get it. I've upped my. So I overcomplicated it when I first started on eBay. I had light boxes on both sides. Like I then went to one that I spent way too much money on, like an actual box with all the lighting. And then eventually I just literally bought a white and black tablecloth.
That's all you need.
And a ring light. Luckily our light in our garage, although on my lives is not so great. But for during the day when I list, the lighting in here was just a simple light and like literally just standard white tablecloth. And then I have a little poster board on the background.
We should show them sometime our setup.
Should. I think that would be a good thing. Like it's so simple. I overcomplicated everything when I first started eBay. Maybe we'll talk about that once.
See this?
Like start to now.
This table, this rolling cart, it has all my jewelry in it that I need to list. But the top of it is what we use for small.
Nice.
It's white. So I can do it in here because it's too cold in the wintertime to go outside. But in the wintertime, we have a big pole in the garage that has a black and white tablecloth in it. Is it a
Yeah, like I overcomplicated. I would get the white backboards and I bought the black ones. But the problem with the white ones is that like anytime you scooch an item, then you have a mark in it. And so I was like, I'm going to get a white tablecloth.
Gray or black, and it scratches up really easy. And I mean, there's certain things we'll still use the light box for. But mostly I use the top of the table. That's all I need to do. And we have.
I think a lot of people overcomplicate it in the beginning, which I did. Absolutely.
Thanks, Jessica.
Now you're back?
Okay, I'm back. One thing I forgot. So thank you, Ivan. And
yes.
The second thing I forgot was I went to find my Flippin' Flamingos shirt and I couldn't find it.
Oh, I got mine.
I think she's wearing it.
Oh, am I?
All right. Bye, everybody.
You have two.
I got one too. Am I wearing yours?
Two.
Well, so okay. So I may have stole it. I wear my Flippin' Flamingo shirt.
We need to get more. We haven't had any.
So when I was pregnant, there was a whole lot of shirts that would not fit me. So I would wear my Flippin' Flamingos shirt and my Pat D's, the traveling picker. I literally wore his shirt to the hospital because I just didn't have enough shirts that would be big enough for my belly. So I wore y'all's shirt. Just so you know.
Tiny. You probably didn't need to switch out shirts until after you were more than halfway through.
So I'm sporting my Flamingo shirt tonight.
I have.
And it may have been his. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Share.
I stole it forever ago.
When you were pregnant, this is totally off the subject. But and that's going to happen with Kimmie and I. Whenever you pull up
we should wrap it up though because it's like 11 minutes.
This is my last question.
Okay.
When you were pregnant, did your underwear bother you? Like when you were big pregnant? Like I had to wear my husband.
That's really your question? Did my underwear bother me?
I had to wear my husband's underwear boxer.
You really want to know? I just didn't wear underwear.
Oh,
and
no.
I wore Chris's comfy pants. I lived in all of his clothes.
I lived and
By the end of it.
I worked up until I had my baby, and I wore my ex-husband now. He wore those boxer briefs, and I loved them because they would go up over my belly and give me support. I couldn't go without underwear.
I did not go to the extent of that one, just because I just went free, and maybe if I would have had a job where I went out and about, I may have changed my mind on that. But I did live in Chris's clothes. Okay. I still do to this day. Like, he's always like, "Where's all my shirts?" As I'm standing there wearing one.
Well, I would be afraid I would be out at the grocery store or something, and something might just fall out that shouldn't fall out or something. So I gotta wear underwear. Anyway.
All right. On that note, I think we need to wrap up since we're
on that personal note. Thanks, everybody.
I am going to drop next week's show, which is with Robin, Real Creative Studios. I'm going to drop that link in there. Renee, do you have any auctions or anything else you're doing this week, sweetheart?
No, not this week. I will be starting to show up different places, but not yet.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a whatnot tomorrow. But it's on Chris the Goose. I want to say it's 5 p.m. Central. He just told me about it like right before we went live. He likes to do that.
Man,
because he knows I get stressed out, so he just tells me at the last second. Oh, and by the way, we're doing this tomorrow.
Welcome to
Whatnot tomorrow. Follow Chris the Goose. Next week's show, I just dropped in the chat. Make sure to follow. I don't have your link for district. I need to put that in my little link.
Joe's been putting it in, and it's in our description of every video live we do. It's in the description, even yours.
Cool beans. Yeah. So we have a couple of awesome guests for the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to do a game night. So it's I'm excited about it. This might be next week and the week after that might be a show that derails off the tracks because our guests are full of shenanigans, and
you never know what's
good fun. Good fun. Usually they're the one interviewing, or having people hang out. So I'm really excited to
see what I found.
Oh, what is that?
What is it?
What up? Never too old. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, she's on whatnot. I don't know your face is in focus, but whatever you're showing me is not focused.
It's a baby Jerry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes. If you do not know who Jerry is, make sure to tune in next week and you will find out. I'm starting to wonder what the baby's new noises that he, if y'all have ever had a kid, they come up with these weird new noises that they do, like the bubbles, or whatever it is. So now he goes, that's his newest noise. So if you all know who Jerry is, you know that
you'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The baby loves to do that noise.
There's 5 people left in here. Sing us out. Sing us out.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, Renee? Are you ready? Such an informative show.
I'm ready.
Wow, my brain.
Thanks, Ivan.
Yes, thank you, Ivan.
We did. We're gonna dedicate. We're gonna dedicate a good day song to you.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye, YouTube. It's time to go. Goodbye, YouTube. Hope you liked the show. We hate to leave you, but we really must say goodbye, YouTube. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, friends.
I forgot to be ready to turn it off. I was
We love you all.